Good morning all, hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. I woke up really early today. I'm not really sure why, but I've been up about 3 hours already. But then again, we're going to get this bulletin done and out of the way, and then we can just get on with our day. We've got a trade idea running. It's a longer term trade idea because today we don't have a trade of the day because we've got NFP. Now, the thing is, the longer term trade idea, the stop loss is fairly wide. So you might want to maybe entertain looking for entry on Monday because we might get stopped out today because we're going to see a lot of thrashing around because of the NFP. So we can maybe look at the longer term trade idea on Monday. It's up to you guys what you want to do, but I've actually got it running with my stop at that level. So we'll have to see how we go. So the risk calculation for the third day in a row hasn't really done much. There's a very slight subtle change on the 24-hour difference. So that tells us indecision, and we probably still need a little bit more of a flush, maybe. They really shorted gold a lot, ridiculous amounts. So that's quite interesting. Currently, it is falling, but we have rallied a lot over Asia, like a great deal. So it's retracing a little bit there. So the yields rose, so that's risk off. That supports a stronger USD. The 5 and the 10-year had fallen, but only slightly. The 12-month is really high now. It's really pumped. So this is quite risk off because we've got the inversion. We don't really want the 3-month any more higher than where we are now. We had inverted on the 3-month and the 10-year Monday or Tuesday, and of course we sort of we didn't particularly perform that well after Powell, so it's a bit of a risk off event there, and these are sort of indicating further risk off. So this is out of bonk with our big picture because this tells us risk on. The retail guys are trapped short. However, fundamentally you could maybe argue this is quite risk off, especially if we get the inversion of the 3-month and the 10-year again. 4.07, 4.14, fairly close, it's possible, and so that's going to be fairly risk off. We don't want that to invert. So they sold the US 30 and they sold oil, and they've gone long on EU, they've gone long on pound yen as well, so that's that. Try and get things to match. See, the Euro USD is matching, so and the US 30 is matching. Weekly majors, I was saying in Discord whether or not we want to fight the dollar. Not really, because look at your stats on the year, look at it on the 6-month and the 3-month, and even on the month as well. Pound really fell yesterday at an awful week at minus 3.48% loss against the USD. So it's not particularly indicative of a weak USD. It doesn't tell us that the USD is weak. When we look at those stats, it's telling us that the USD is strong. So whether or not we want to fight that is a lot of headwind. If we do, if we want to sort of think about maybe buying the dips, trying to get a good risk to reward, then yeah, potentially these could be good buys. But we've got NFP, and we might get an angry USD, and those yields might rise as well. So there's the pound, and that's really helped push the Dixie higher because the pound's a fairly large part of the Dixie basket, of the USD basket. It's not as large component as the euro, but it's still quite a significant portion of the dollar basket. And that falls will help the USD if the pound falls. So no trade of the day, but we do have a longer term trade idea. We don't really have those, so it's quite rare, but I figured I need practice to do swing trades anyway because I'm more of an intraday trader, but I think it'd be good to have a swing trade running just for practice, and whether or not we might want to enter on Monday for that trade idea, because we might see we will see a lot of volatility today and it might stop us out. But we'll see how we go anyway, and you can always just monitor it, and you've got your stop loss and TP level. Patreon.com, Quasidb, there's the link. I'm going to do a Black Friday deal for you guys. If you're interested about joining, we're going to have a Black Friday deal for an annual, and you're going to get a huge significant saving if you do the annual plan, and it will be, I'm not sure what the percentage off will be, but it'll be significant enough for you guys to entice you guys in and it will probably be the premium tier for a price of basic or something like that. Or we'll have to think about it when we get closer to the Black Friday. But it'll be a huge saving. Uh, it, Maybe like 25% off, 30% off if you do the annual plan. Currently it's 16% or 15% if you do annual. We could double that to 30%, but that'll be a Black Friday thing. So decent saving if you're interested in joining us. We've got a good community, loads of awesome analysis, and we've got funded traders and experienced traders, and we're a good bunch as well. We're nice people, and lots of experience as well. So there's the level, I say the level on the S&P 3912. So that's going to be key. We had a double top and then we failed to break above. I thought it might be a bit too obvious if we rallied higher and then use that as a support. I think we still need that flush. And so these last 4 days could be the flush that's necessarily required. So there's 3912, so you know why. That's the swing low. And then a bit of support here as well, to be honest, and up we come, and then resistance. So potentially they're going to sell it. If they sell it, then we'll come up, but we'll have some decent supply here and here as well. And whether or not we'll overcome that today, probably not, because we still, at the big picture, we're a sell because we're 57%. So they're net long, so we really shouldn't be coming up unless they short it. They might short it. Likewise, they might sell the US 30, but you can see how they've been buying the dips. 2, 3, 4. And so if they sell it, potentially, we can come up. But every time they sold it, they bought it again. They sold it and then bought it. They sold it, then bought it. So they might sell it and buy it again. If they buy it, it will fall. So we need them to sell it and then sell it. Okay, so over time, this is why time's the important factor. DAX is making a buy because we've got the crossover. Okay, so I'll do a quick 2-minute video into Discord and we can see how we are, how we're doing on that. Gold, now they sold it, and currently this current H1 candle is falling, but you could argue it could do with a retracement because we've already moved a huge amount over Asia. So it would be a little retracement that you'd expect after such a big rally. Okay. And stop loss cluster, gold was the big mover. Okay, and AU is the last stop loss cluster. Whether or not that's going to be safe, it might get probed, and it's the second time this week that the SLC got probed above, and it was very large before as well. So they raided it, took liquidity, made it look like it was coming down. It did look like it was coming down, and they might push it up just to take those stops again. Very cruel. AJ's undecided, and it has been for the last 3 days. So that's of note. I don't think anything's ever happened 3 days in a row where it's been undecided. That's the first time that's ever happened. Okay, so AJ would be one to watch, not to trade, because we're currently at a crossroads. 72 hours it's been undecided, which I've never seen before. VIX is down. The indices are. Let me look now. The VIX is actually rallying a little bit. Yeah, we are now minus 0.08, and so we're possibly going to go green on the VIX. So if we go green on the VIX, it's meaning that these can fall, the indices. Okay, so we want the VIX to be red if you want risk to rally. So that's the Volt X. So we might, looks like it's going to be going green. So we don't really want more fear, but I guess you could probably argue we need a flush, maybe. We still are sell here on the S&P, so we can maybe flush that maybe need to fall, and so we can see a higher VIX. And remember, this is the volatility measure of the S&P 500, so it doesn't concern itself with the European indices. It's just S&P, okay, and that's like the king. That's like the stock market to be monitoring, and maybe like Nasdaq as well. US 30 less so. Pound is currently paying retail guys, so look for reversals in the pound. They sold it and then they've got paid, so that would be unusual. If they sell it, we should see price go up. Okay. And so EJ netted us 47 pips. By the time we published the second screenshot, taking profit there would make sense. Anything greater than 40 pips is a decent haul in these intraday swings. So we did a screenshot at a particular point in time in the afternoon. And we were up 47 pips from the prior screenshot. So that's what we're going to take. It did obviously reverse, but then that's, FX, things reverse and it's quite a lot of chop. So we're going to take that, which makes sense. We wouldn't have it go all the way back to our break even. It would just be ridiculous. So you need to have an idea where to TP, and ideally, you move your stop ahead at entry, but by doing so, you'll get out at break even. But it's better than having a loss, right? So, and also it's fairly comforting if you've got out at break even. At least you're not going to encounter a loss, and you made a little bit of profit. It's just kind of annoying that things are chopping up and down, but that's probably retail traders coming into the market and causing a lot of volatility. Now I think the apes got liquidated on dollar yen as well, which is good because we wanted them out of the equation. Nothing here from the QDB signals, which is good because we've got NFP, so we probably wouldn't want to be trading anything really unless you just fancied a gamble. So static sells AU, AJ, EU, AJ, GU, GJ, and U. So, on the currency pair itself, could be good sells, and that would tell us that sentimentally dollar and the yen are strong. Okay. Economic calendar. So obviously you've got the PMI, we've got the CAD data, and then we've got NFP, and then we've got the PMI from Canada as well. So if you've got Canadian dollar exposure, be careful, and you've got USD exposure, be careful. I think we're going to see a lot of violent moves here, and whether or not we want to fight the USD strength, technically and statistically, probably not a good idea. Sentimentally, we know by looking at this, sentimentally it's looking quite good. So be careful with the dollar, and I'm off now, but we had a profitable week, so happy results. We made over 100 pips this week, which is pretty cool. So yeah, considering the incredible turbulence, we did very well, and that's it. So keep calm, always trade safely, know your exit, try and know where your TP is. If you're up 40 pips, it's not a bad result really. I mean, it can continue, but then we might hit ADR, and then we can see reversals and things like that. So know your TP, know your SR, and you should be fine. And fingers crossed that the longer term trade idea goes well. We can always look on Monday for an entry if we get stopped out today, but we'll see how we go. So I'll do a quick 2-minute video in Discord now just to cover the indices, and it's going to tie into London Open really nicely. So I'll speak to you soon.